Hi, I'm Epoch, and these are some early game tips for a new playthrough of Dinkum. Now, let's start off with the one thing that most people care about the most, and that is making a lot of money. The best ways to do it is in the very early game, in the very first few, like 4 hours, for example. That is just to collect a lot of bugs and fish. Not only do you get some milestones in return for it, but actually they are just worth a lot of cash. So just go around with your bug net or with your fishing rod and basically go catch as many bugs and fish as you can and just sell them to John for a lot of cash. Now, if you want some help with fishing, it's a really complete different system to most games. I made a complete guide on it and you can find it in the description down below if you want. But while you are doing this, you may want to also get the yellow wattle flower. Now you can find these bushes all over the place, and every time you harvest them, you get about three wattle flowers back. And basically, these things are worth a lot of cash. It's kind of unreal, to be honest. So just go around, collect as many as you want, and just sell them to John, and you are going to be able to buy that barbecue for 34,000 in no time. Now, later on, you may also want to combine this with a bulletin board. So the bulletin board is going to be something that you can unlock through the story very early on in like the first 2 hours of gameplay. And basically, there you can do some tasks for some money. And this is pretty much always a very easy task for a lot of cash. And you can also get some friendship points for that. Now, what actually kind of ties into this is basically the idea of building orchards. So basically, whenever you go chop down a tree or, for example, a wattle bush, now basically you are going to get 2 seeds in return. So for one tree, you get 2 seeds, so you can basically double the amount of trees immediately. And basically just go use your shovel, dig a hole, drop the seed in it. So just select it on your tool belt, press Q, and basically your little character is going to throw it in there. And then just, cover the hole with the dirt from the shovel, and basically you have a new tree. So do this a lot of times, and basically you are going to have this huge orchard and a lifetime supply of fruit and wood. And well, in wattle and bushes case, you are going to get a lot of money that way also. Now, I mentioned milestones a little bit earlier, and basically they are very important, and you really need to focus on them in this game. Now, basically, whenever you do a milestone, you get permit points, and you can spend those permit points to get specific permits. Now, very early on in the game, you can basically unlock digging, mining, logging, and stuff like that. And you are just thinking, wait, I'm getting way too many points way too easily for just doing the most minor things, and I'm going to have way too many points for all the permits that are available right now. But later on, as the story progresses, you are going to get access to a lot more permits, and they become really important. Just a few examples of these are, for example, the ability to craft your own tools instead of buying them from John for a way too high price. Or, for example, you can expand your inventory, unlock hunting, farming, keeping animals, trapping, stuff like that. You really can get a lot of permits if you keep progressing through the story. And basically, you want to get as many points as possible. Now, for that reason, you should really focus on the lifetime milestones and on the daily milestones. So basically, the daily milestones are basically just, for example, walking or just planting a few trees, like I just mentioned, catching some fish, catching some bugs, selling them, something like that. There are always 3 different ones. You basically the same story as Animal Crossing, for example. But you actually also want to focus on the lifetime milestone because there are some really easy ones, like for example, collecting and selling shells, catching a lot of bugs, just making planks out of logs using the table saw. There are some really easy ones that you can knock out in no time, so we just focus on doing all of them and you're going to get a lot of permit points and get a lot of cool things in return. And that actually brings me to my next point, and that is basically just get as many machines as possible. You want to get like multiple smelters so you can actually melt tin in multiple times, or for example, tin and copper at the same time. You want to get multiple table saws and campfires or barbecues early on, and basically you can just keep filling them. So, for example, if you have 2 table saws, you just keep kind of completely filling them each time, and you are going to be able to turn logs into planks in no time. You can really increase your productivity by doing some simple stuff like that. So really get multiple machines whenever you have the possibility, and you should have them because I already told you the secret to getting rich in this game early on. And while we are talking about productivity, we should also talk about why you should craft a cooking table as quickly as possible. Now, basically, whenever your energy is low, you can actually eat some food. So you can only eat 3 pieces of food at a time, and over time, that little orange orb next to your energy level is going to decrease. When it's full, it means you can't eat anymore, but if it kind of decreases, you can eat another piece of food. And you basically want to optimize your food so you can actually eat the best type of food to get the most energy in return every time. So basically, if you eat like a bush lamb and you want to get 9 pieces of energy in return, well, basically that's not going to do much. You want to get a cooking table because there you can actually craft more intricate types of food. Yes, they are going to require a lot more ingredients, but the return of energy is going to be a lot better than otherwise. Now, those were the most important early game tips that I wanted to share without spoiling anything. But if you want to share some tips of your own, just share them in the comments down below. That way I'm also learning a little bit. And otherwise, you just may want to check out this video right here. And that's my complete guide on how to fish in Dinkum. But don't click on it just yet. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on everything related to Dinkum. Thanks for watching. I'll see you over there.